Bleach is known for its intricately designed names, and since Ichibee Hyosube's power revolves around the names of things, the names he uses are carefully crafted to express even more depth and meaning. These names range from poetic to brutally direct, capturing the essence of the thing they name. So let's take a look at the true art of naming.
通してもらおうか、Hyousube Ichibee。
何度叱っても軽々しくわしの名を呼ぶの。喉が潰れても知らんぞ。
Perhaps Ichibee's most important name is his own.
Hyousube Ichibee.
Hyousube is written with 3 kanji. Hyo relates to warfare, Su means master, and Bei relates to a department or bureau. Together, we can take Hyousube to mean something like Minister of War. Ichibee is also written with 3 kanji. They mean 1, warfare again, and defense. Taken together, they can be read to mean something like the foremost guard. Combined, that makes Ichibee Hyousube something like the Minister of War and the foremost guard. As the leader of the Soul Reapers, it's a fitting name.
Hyousube Ichibee.
But here's a crucial point about Japanese names. The meaning comes primarily from the written kanji, not the spoken sound. It's very unlikely that anyone, Japanese or otherwise, would hear the name Hyousube Ichibee spoken aloud and jump to that meaning, or really any meaning necessarily. The kanji that make up the name are what make up the meaning. However, that doesn't mean that the two are entirely separate from one another. The correct way to read the kanji is Hyousube Ichibee. Before we get to Ichibee's Zanpakuto, let's go over the other unique power he uses.
千里通天章。ついたものを千里の先まで問答無用で吹き飛ばす。
Senri is literally 1,000 ri. Ri is an antiquated Japanese unit for distance. The choice of ri makes sense in the story. In modern Japan, the most common way to measure distance is in kilometers, but Ichibee is ancient, so choosing an older style of measurement is a good fit. For Tsutencho, we'll need to go into a bit more detail. Tsu is written with the kanji for commute, but when read as Tsu, it could also mean authority, supernatural power, or insight. Those translations read almost like a description of Ichibee himself. Although the kanji here is almost certainly used to mean commute, it carries a poetic connotation that implies that the hand is Ichibee's own. Ten is written with the kanji for heaven, and that's exactly what it means here. Sho means palm, but it can also mean administer and carries a connotation of authority. Altogether, that makes Senri Tsutencho something like the heavenly palm of the 1,000 ri commute, and it carries the connotation of Ichibee's authority. But Ichibee's influence on naming goes far deeper than his own techniques. Remember, he is the one credited with naming the very tools and concepts central to Soul Reaper power.
残白刀という名はわしがつけた。司会も挽回もソウルソサエティにあるあらゆる事象に最初に名をつけたのがわしじゃ。
Hyousube came up with the names Zanpakuto, Shikai, and Bankai, so it's important to look at each of those as well. Zanpakuto is written with 3 kanji. Zan means decapitation, but it can also be read as to kill with a sword. Pak means soul, and to means blade. Together, we can read this as soul-severing sword. The name is direct, with just enough connotation to capture the violence and power associated with Zanpakuto, but not so much that it makes it feel poetic instead of violent. Quick pause. If you're fascinated by understanding the Japanese behind epic anime moments like these, and you want to learn to watch anime without subtitles, you should check out Fluyo. It's an RPG language learning game where you bond with your dolphin companion, explore, battle, and learn Japanese naturally through gameplay. It's designed for people like us who find traditional language learning methods a bit dry. Fluyo was the highest funded app ever on Kickstarter for a reason, and it makes learning feel like an adventure. Link in the description. For Shikai, the poetry comes roaring back. Shi means begin, and Kai means understand. So together, shikai means begin to understand. But there's a second element. The word shikai, written with these kanji, is a common term that means visibility. Poetically, that makes shikai a visual representation of the start of understanding of something. This is a perfect fit for Bleach's story. For bankai, we've got a pretty similar pattern. The first kanji, ban, is commonly used in Japan as a symbol for Buddhist temples, and when combined with the same kai from shikai, it can be read as something like true enlightenment. The word bankai, written with these two kanji, means restoration. So putting that all together, bankai poetically means restoration through enlightenment. The sword's true nature is restored through the enlightenment of its Soul Reaper partner. Now, having explored the names Ichibee gave to others, let's turn to the name of his own Zanpakuto, Ichimonji.
Ichimonji.
Ichimonji translates literally to one written character, but there's a hidden nuance. Normally, one written character as a count would be read hitomoji. Instead, the reading Ichimonji subtly shifts the emphasis. Ichimonji implies not just a written character, but perhaps the written character, or even the first written character. Given Ichibee's power over names and his ancient origins, these subtle connotations feel deliberate, hinting at the fundamental nature of his ability, dealing with the very essence of identity through written characters.
Kuromeo. Ichimonji.
Ichibee's shikai is still called Ichimonji, and its release command is Kuromeo, which translates directly to blacken. Black is the essence of Ichimonji's power in this state, and so, like the blackness it bestows, Kuromeo is simply that and nothing more. But Ichibee's bankai is different.
Shinji, Shirafude Ichimonji. 最新式の言い方で言うなら挽回ということになるんかの。何しろ世に挽回というもんが生まれるより昔、最初に生まれた進化した残白刀じゃ。
He predates the term bankai, so he uses the name from the time when he developed it. Shinichi. That translates directly to true strike.
Shinji, Shirafude Ichimonji.
Shirafude Ichimonji adds Shirafude to Ichimonji. This translates directly to white brush, and there's no poetic connotation to the words. However, Shira for white isn't written with kanji. Instead, it's written with hiragana, the sound-based writing system in Japanese. Usually, when a kanji is replaced with hiragana, it's to make the text easier to read, since some readers may not know the kanji. However, the kanji for Shira is taught in first grade and is extremely common. So, we can interpret that the use of hiragana is to make a statement about the word. It's simplified and obvious to everyone. Ichibee's white is self-evident. To match this, when Ichibee renames Yuhabaha to Kuroari, the name Kuroari has no poetry. It is simply black ant and nothing more. It carries the same self-evident nature.
この刀は一文字で塗りつぶされたものに新たな名を刻み込むことができる。さて、気分はどうじゃ。かつてユーハバッハだった黒アリよ。
Ichibee's names run the gamut from simple and direct to complex and poetic, but they always reach to the core of what they name. It's a shame that his wisdom only went as far as names. If you enjoyed learning about Ichibee's naming, please share this video with someone you think will enjoy it. It makes a huge difference.